This morning they said a man can't take me to Applebee's, can't take me to IHOP.
I'm 32 years old.
Hold on. What if he's responsible? And
That's
what if
great.
he's getting to know you?
Yes.
Then
So
what?
if get to know me, don't take me to Applebee's then.
Because
In
Applebee's
New York,
says what? What does Applebee's say
to
about you?
me, it seems like you weren't trying to be creative and think of a nice spot other than Applebee's. You're taking to a chain restaurant.
But so you don't eat at chain restaurants?
On a first date.
Hold on. Oh, we need a whole nother segment, guys. Okay, you need to get my first book called Relationship Goals. And you got to rip up your list because Applebee's.
Why? I'm 32 years old. Why are we still going? We're not in college no more.
But you're still single.
Okay.
Baby,
We in here, yeah, we in here, 'cause we been.
y'all better get comfortable with saying black.
We in here, yeah, we in here,
Black versus the Board of Education.
'cause we came here, rid of us now. We in here, yeah, we in here, 'cause we came here, rid of us now. And you know, we in here, yeah, we in here, 'cause we been here.
That's why we are indeed a whole mood.
That's it.
It is hot in here already. Let me tell you. Welcome to another Monday with Black versus the Board of Education. My name is Miss Laureen, and I am the captain of the ship. And as always, we do go around and get introductions, but I just have to say, this week we are talking about relationships are key. This is the second part to our mindfulness series. As we've told you, the team here at BYLP, we are all MBSAT trained, which is mindfulness-based substance abuse treatment trained, and we facilitate classes throughout the region, trying to get to the kind of the ins and outs of why people may have certain, delving into certain types of things, whether that be substances, addicted to people, their family relationships, and how that may contribute. And so we are just doing this just to give you a little taste of what you would get if you were to enroll in one of our courses. And so with that, I want to go ahead and kick it to the team. We have a full house today, and I am so excited. Oh my. We have a long comment already. Hey, Dom. So we're going to kick it to the team, get some introductions, and let's get the party started.
My name is Jalen. It is hot in here, but it's about to get hotter because I got a lot to say about that video.
You didn't like that list?
Oh, I got a lot to say about that video.
Lord. Well, hold on to it. Hold on to it. We're going to kick it over here. What's up, girlie?
Hey, it's your girl Keela. I'm ready to get started.
Okay, because I'm coming for y'all. Let's go.
Oh.
Hey.
Well, name is Adrian. Kind of hungry.
Oh, Lord.
Video, too.
Is that because they mentioned Applebee's?
Yeah, that would be good.
I like Applebee's.
Come on now. Come on, man.
I like their apps, but
Okay, let's get some of our other co-hosts for the day on here. Hey, Melissa, what's up?
Hi.
Welcome back.
My name is Melissa. I am a senior who just submitted her early decision and early action applications. I'm so excited. And I have some things to say about this list too. I'm ready to talk
Whoa, let's go. Miss Anaya, hey boo, hey.
Hey everyone. My name's Anaya. I'm excited to be back.
Oh, okay. Well, short and sweet. I love it. Sherman does not have his camera on, but that's okay because I see we have Carlos in the building. He looks like he's driving. What's up, sir?
Just trying to get into town. Long day, but very productive. It's my honor and a pleasure to be here once again, and I'm here to learn.
All right. Well, I'm looking to learn from these young people too. And if Sherman turns on his camera, we will allow him to introduce himself. If he doesn't, we're gonna pull him right back off the screen, and get the conversation started. So you guys, I don't see him, so go ahead and remove him. When he turns on his camera, we will integrate him into the conversation. But as you saw, there is a list circulating. Now, my understanding is there was some sort of video that went viral. It featured a non-Black male and a Black woman, and she refused to get out of the car because he took her to the Cheesecake Factory.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was really weird because I didn't know that Cheesecake Factory was persona non grata. Like, I thought that was pretty a nice, decent place. And so as time went on, we've learned that it was a skit, right? It was a skit. I don't know why anybody would do that skit unless they were trying to portray Black women in a specific light. But out of that skit came this stupid list. And so I don't know. Do you have a picture of the list, sir? Show me this list, because we're gonna go down it and we're gonna talk because I'm confused as to what the problem is. And so relationships are key. There are several types of relationships, and while Tevin is getting that list, I just want to go through the list of relationship types. So relationships refer to the way in which two or more people or entities are connected, whether through emotional, social, professional, or familial bonds. Relationships can take various forms and are a fundamental aspect of human interaction and society. There are several types of relationships, including family relationships, romantic relationships, friendships, professional relationships, acquaintanceships, online relationships. I don't know why that was okay. Right on. Mentorships, community and social relationships, parent-child relationships, long distance. Now, I don't understand this one, because is that not captured in some of these other relationships when we talk about long distance relationships? And then casual relationships, which I thought were acquaintanceships, and then codependent relationships. So I think it was 13. I think I just listed 13 relationship types. And so as we're looking at this list and how it came to be, this was in reference to a romantic relationship. So somehow this list are things that to not go to if you are interested in pursuing a relationship with some type of woman. Because it ain't me, because I'm like, ooh, I like that place. Maybe I just got fat girl problems, but I was just tripping. Did you find it yet, sir? Can you put it up for me, please?
Man, because I already was on hots, with all this stuff after the oyster video.
The oyster video. Oh, when she ordered, they went on a date and she ordered all them oysters.
4 plates, man.
Listen, I heard that was a skit too.
Whoa.
So
that was not no skit, because she really ate them oysters.
She ate them. Okay, so this list and it's a little. Let me take my glasses off because I can't do both. So it looks like Cheesecake Factory is number 1 place. It says, here is a list of places women absolutely refuse to go to on a first date. And thank you to the ladies who reached out to me to help me on my list. So their list includes Cheesecake Factory, Applebee's, Chili's, Chipotle, Olive Garden, the movies, your house, any fast food chain, Buffalo Wild Wings. Now, see, I understand the Buffalo Wild Wings thing. They have terrible food. Wingstop, Red Lobster, a buffet, IHOP, Denny's, the gym, because some people got fat girl problems like me. Church, somebody needs Jesus. Starbucks, coffee dates, ice cream dates, family functions, movie night, somewhere that requires a long drive, bowling, nightclubs, hookah bar, a bar that just drinks. I'm sorry. Okay. What happens at bars?
You drink.
Oh, okay. And then it says Waffle House and sports events. So my question then to the group, to all y'all, where is an appropriate place to take somebody on a first date?
That was exactly what I was going to say. You listed everywhere in existence. Where are we supposed to go? Like, where
walk in the park.
Go?
I'm like, they didn't leave anything on the table. Like, where can y'all go? See, I don't have any more first dates lined up, but some of y'all do. So what do y'all think? What's an appropriate place? If all those places are off limits, where would you take somebody, Jalen?
Because what for some reason, they expect that they want to go a 5-star restaurant just off the strength of meeting you. They want to go to Roof Chris. They want to go to Fleming's. They want to go to.
What do they know about those places?
That all the rappers be rapping about it. And if you ain't got no money, you can't take. If you ain't going to Roof Chris and giving me the steak and lobster, you broke. That's how they feel. It's crazy. You better be happy with the cheddar biscuits.
Anaya, where can they go? Where? I mean, if they can't take y'all to any of these places, where do you think?
Well, I didn't see Texas Roadhouse on the menu, and I love their rolls, so I would like to go there.
I love Texas.
Texas Roadhouse. Okay. Keela, where you going?
I'm gonna kick it off with a picnic
Oh.
at a park.
Now, wait, did it say anything about the parks?
It didn't.
No,
Okay.
I think that's cute.
It's that movie
Let me
night, though.
see.
Yeah, they said movie night and at your house.
Or at the movies.
Somewhere that
That's so
requires a
crazy
long
about the
drive.
movies
Come on
though,
now.
because like I feel like that's a vibe.
That's a vibe.
Like
I mean,
And bowling.
y'all are just bougie, I think.
but
Y'all's generation, I'm like, we was always at the movies.
that's what I'm saying.
Come on.
Like how what? I love the movies.
Come on
Like
now.
Carlos,
And bowling.
talk to us. Where are you taking somebody on the first date since you can't go to anywhere on that list?
And I think somebody just said it, but I'm gonna show how old I am, right? What happened to the walk in the park?
Who just said that?
I said picnic in the park.
Oh, you said picnic. You said walk in the park. I didn't see that. Maybe they were like, don't you even suggest that?
Well, I thought that's the thing about it. Like, are we even meeting to get to know each other, or are we meeting to see how much money I got?
Yeah.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
I mean, Adrian?
At this point, I don't even go swimming.
Hey, you know that's off limits. You know that's off limits on first date, man.
He said we going swimming.
You know that's off limits, man.
Oh, swimming, huh?
Yeah.
On a budget,
I don't know about swimming.
So listen,
That's not happening.
do women put themselves out of reach for you if they have these expectations in terms of you don't value me if you don't spend X? Does that put you and we could do that for the ladies? Do you correlate your value with the amount of money a man spends on your on your first date? And anybody can answer. Don't just everybody look at me.
Because my thing is, what happened to the thought that counts? Like you just going to somewhere and you getting a free meal. So off rip, but now if I'm not spending $70 for a steak,
Ruth Chris is more than that.
thank you,
You're welcome.
man. It's crazy because it's like my thing is this, like it's gotten to the point where social media has really just tailored everybody's expectations. Because one person will post that she's at this expensive restaurant. Now all her friends be like, oh, why the dude I'm talking to ain't putting me in that same position? Why? Oh, you want to talk to me? Well, if you don't got a blue check or if you don't got this, or
I mean, you
got
buy
this.
blue checks now, though.
I know you, and now my fault.
Yeah.
They buying dinners now. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy, bro. I'm telling you.
Melissa, talk to me.
I saw this list, and when it came out, I went to my mom, and we were like, what the heck is this? We had a long conversation talking about this list, and where are you supposed to go? And like Keela, you mentioned the park or things like that. But if they don't want you to take them out to a restaurant, what makes you think they want to go sit in the park? Like, if that's what, and I love the park. I love park picnics and stuff like that. But at the same time, where are we setting the bar? Like with this list, where are the standards at? Like, are we, like you said, basing it off of how much money someone is willing to spend on you? Why is he going to spend, like you said, $70 on a steak or however much on this amount of dinner? He doesn't even know you.
Because doesn't that mean that they're trying to what's the word I'm looking for? They're trying to big up for something that they're lacking. If they're trying to spend all this money.
You want him to spend this money on, I don't know. It's really, it's not even that complicated. It's just like, why is he going to spend this amount of money and he doesn't even know you? And you want him to take you somewhere so expensive, but you're not trying to get to know him either. You just want to see how much money he's going to spend on you. It has to be a mutual wanting to get to know each other.
Hey, and you know what?
So he gonna tell us what after. I don't. What happened?
Okay.
So I don't know what happened, sir. You went out.
Hear me? You can hear me, right?
Yeah, now.
Well, okay. Well, the funny thing about it is that the young ladies here represent like something that isn't necessarily always of the norm now, because you guys understand that getting to know somebody type of thing. But everything is saturated with it's all saturated with what it is that you can throw out there, whether it's money, whether it's jewelry, whether whatever you want to call what the flex is. And the flex is not the same as what it used to. The flex is materialistic. So you would have somebody that would rather spend time on the image of whatever other people think than actually spending a quarter of that time getting to know themselves. So they would already know what to and what not to expect. But quite honestly, like when you saturate it with everybody trying to one up somebody else, everybody is buying into something that is really not even a version of themselves. And that's what kind of makes it unfortunate because you'll never get to know anybody for who they are because it's not what you're looking for.
Gotcha. And it's like, I think that reality shows have done a real disservice to real relationships. And I see Sherman is somewhere in the background. And if he has a seat, I can turn on, I can add him to the conversation because all I see is his chin. There you go. All right. So I saw you writing things in the chat, and I absolutely agree with what Don was saying. We have to have a cultural definition of what dating is meant for and what to expect on a date. Because I think, again, reality TV has really done a disservice to a lot of the generation growing up because they look at that and think that that's real. We had a whole bunch of basketball wives. Most of them were not married. So it seems like we need to redefine what a wife is, right? And so I'm looking at this and I'm looking at this crazy list. And Sherman, I want to get I want you to tell them what was in the chat because you were leaving commentary because you was having a problem with connectivity. So talk to us, Sherman, in terms of the list and the expectations of what's going on for you guys' generation.
Well, can y'all hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
I was saying, one is hard dating in this generation, mainly because of social media, what Jalen said, because, you know, they look at the Lil Durks and the Indias and the G Herbals and like they think that's like real life, and it's like it's not real life. And I was saying like the walk in the park would not work in today's generation. Like,
but why not?
Because like you have to be ready to spend money, like a large amount of money for you to work.
And it's like, you know, we're in a whole recession. Gas prices are crazy. Food prices are crazy. And it sounds like we expect men to break the bank for one date. Not thinking about living expenses, not thinking about how they're going to get to and from work. We don't care. It's we want what we want, and they can deal with whatever they have to deal with later. And so I'm looking at these questions, and I'm gonna start hitting y'all with questions because I'm really, really curious. Because that had to come from somewhere.
It sounds like the South for me.
You said the South?
Yeah. Like
why do you think
Waffle
it came from? Well, yeah, the Waffle House, just because we don't have one here. But the ideology had to come from somewhere.
Social media.
Just social media?
Because of the simple fact, it's who you are. Out on the outside is who draws you in, but
who
on the
you are or who they perceive you to be.
Well, in their eyes, yeah. So who they perceive you to be. It's
okay.
Who, like, if I'm rich, all I gotta do is show the girl I got money, and then I can just hide my personality until whenever she tired of me, or I'm tired of her, really, until I'm tired of her.
You need a personality, really.
You don't.
You said what now?
You don't even need a personality.
You don't need a personality?
No.
Like, I don't understand.
I'm gonna give you an example, right? I'm gonna just say like me, Adrian, and Jalen, we're like a regular person. We're not about to spend $400, $500. Like we're not gonna send that $400, $500 on Cash App to a random stranger just because we think you cute. Like it's just not gonna happen. And that's what we're competing with.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. The competition is the
so
guys
you think well, what guys are sending that type of money? Are they guys your age?
I've seen it.
They're guys your age?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where they get money from?
No, where they getting it from? But they spending it.
I just said, hook me up.
Look, I know where they're getting it.
So let me ask you guys this, because we're gonna dial it back, because we're talking about relationships are key, and relationships kind of define who we are as people, right? Based on what we saw growing up, based on our relationships with maybe our siblings or cousins. So I'm going to ask the first question is, how do your family relationships influence your self-identity and your self-esteem? Yeah, I done throw you a curveball because we're going to get off the fantasy list and we're going to come back to reality. And it is really hot in here. Oh my gosh. Okay. Anaya, how do your family relationships influence your self-identity and your self-esteem?
I'm not ready to answer. Actually, sorry.
Oh my gosh, somebody better get ready.
I can answer.
Come on, Jalen.
So for me, who my family, like the relationships that I have with my family, means a lot to me. And when I'm on good terms with most of my family, I feel the best. When I'm on bad terms with family members, it leaves a void where I'm like, I hope that this is something that does not ruin how we perceive each other, because then you'll have times where you go through rough patches with family members, but then there are certain times where the wrong thing can get said to the wrong person, and they're having a bad day, and then next thing you know, you're not talking for a year or 6 months, and then you're like, there's just this, and then you have the ego on both sides where I'm not gonna reach out first. So if they're not gonna reach out to me, then I'm not gonna reach out to them. So then both parties are on the same thing. Like, well, they were the one who said it to me, so they need to apologize to me first, because they don't. But both sides are at the same point, and nobody knows how the other person is feeling. So then everybody's just feeling like a piece of their normal is missing.
Gotcha. Keela.
Come back.
Keela is trying to avoid answering questions today because she's hyper emotional, and I'm going to make her answer at some point, just so y'all know. But Melissa, I'm gonna kick it to you.
I was really hoping y'all's answers would be longer.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I tried my best.
There's too many of y'all in here to not speak. Come
I
on.
tried my best.
I think that my relationships that I have with my family, and even the relationships that I see within my family, definitely impact me. I think that, like Jalen was talking about, how there can be arguments or things where family members aren't talking for long periods of time. I've definitely seen that. And that kind of makes me think about my self-worth and how I value myself. And I know I've seen that a lot, and it's happened. I don't want to say for good reasons, but like I've seen it happen, and sometimes it needed to happen because boundaries were put up, and sometimes people don't know how to respect boundaries. And that's not just within family, that's within any relationship. You have to put up boundaries. And so I think that boundaries are a really big part of my family. Yeah, I think boundaries are a big part of my family, the relationships I have with people, the types of relationships I have with people, the amount of access I give people to myself. And yeah, I think that really impacts the person I will be in other settings and that I am in other settings.
Wow. Adrian?
I think family relationships have a big part on your self-identity because they're really the kind of first relationships that you form growing up. So if you have a family that you really don't talk to, you start to think to yourself, or you don't get along with, it's like, if I can't even get along with my family, then who can I get along with? If my family's not checking up on me, then who is? And since family don't have if a family doesn't have a relationship where they look out for each other, check up on each other, then it's like, then why am I going to do that to my friends or other people I meet eventually in my life? I was never taught that or shown how to do that.
Gotcha. Keela, you ready?
I'm trying to just form thoughts. It's just a lot.
Anaya, you ready?
I am, I think. So going back to what Melissa said, I would say personally for me, that's been important because some people that are in the family are not in my family. Like some people that have relationships with my family members, if I don't like you as a person, I don't consider, like, I'm not, this may sound rude, but like, you're not my cousin, like, you're not my uncle, you're not this, you're not that. And that's to protect myself. If I don't like you as a person, you're not in my family, you're in the family. And then also how my family relationships affect my self-esteem. I would say it's, in my experience, it's been positive. I'm the youngest and the only girl, like with my siblings. So my dad and my older brothers were very like protective over me, I would say, and they kind of showed me like what to look for in somebody and like what not to look for. So I think that impacted my self-esteem and how I view the world and other people. Yeah.
Gotcha. Sherman.
So for me, I'm kind of like the opposite of Adrian. I would say because like I don't expect my family to be there for me. Well, I won't expect my family to be there for me like emotionally, but you know, I expect myself to be there for my family. So I think that impacts how I am in relationships because like I put a lot of pressure on myself to, you know, to look out for them emotionally or financially, or you know, I think I put that pressure on myself to just look out for other people. So,
And why do you think you do that? Because I
um,
have the same problem. I got the same
'cause
problem.
I feel like I have to, you know, growing up, I had to pretty much look after my brothers when my mom can't. So then that translates to the world and how I look after my friends, my lady friends. So I just feel like it's just something that I had to do, and it's not something I could shake off, really.
Carlos, your relationships with your family and how does that affect or influence your self-identity and your self-esteem? Hold on, let's see.
For a second, can you hear me good?
Yep.
Okay. There's variations in my family. We have the older generation, our elders, which are like the last ones that know a little bit more about our history than everybody else. But they've kind of like separated themselves because they've been successful in other ways. So they look down on the rest of the family. And then we have the rest of the family that have learned to live in their dysfunction continuously. And then there's like somebody like me, well, I love hard on all levels, but I've been on that dysfunctional side, but I've done enough self-evaluation and understanding and education and just going through the depths of it to understand that I've turned my life around, but I can still see the younger generation that really already have a mindset that's going to take a lot to get them back to really thinking realistically about things. So me trying to bridge that gap and show the younger ones that it's a way to get out of it. But at the same time, the little bit of time that I spend gets trumped by the rest of the day that's spent with moms and pops getting high and moms and pops stealing and going to jail and everything that comes with that. So right now, I end up feeling a lot of pressure and a lot of pain because I see what it means. I see where the generational trauma comes from. I've lived it on both sides, and the ones that I love the most are the ones that I can't get to the way that I wish I could. And that really makes it unfortunate for the super young generation that could be impacted in such a positive way.
Gotcha. And I heard someone mention boundaries, and I know you think I forgot about you, and I'm gonna come to you next, because I want to know how your family relationships have influenced you and or your self-esteem.
I think
And put your mouth in the microphone.
I
Yes, ma'am.
think that relationships in your family specifically like okay, like parents wise, I feel like it's definitely kind of what you expect within a relationship, right? Because you almost look up to them. So then it's like if you see certain things or certain aspects going on, you either know like that's all you know, or like you know that's not what you want, if that makes sense. And I feel like as a person, like that could either literally go in opposite directions, either influence you positively because that's something you don't want in a relationship or just with people in general, or that's you don't see other examples, so you stick to that and you stick with the toxicity, you stick with all that stuff. And I think within a person, how that reflects your ideology, it's like I feel like you kind of figure out your self-worth in a sense. And it's just like, how do you value yourself? Because if you see these people and they're supposed to love each other and they're supposed to do all that stuff, but you don't see that, then it's like, how am I supposed to feel that way about myself? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I do know what you mean, because again, I think I shared last week, I grew up in a single parent home. right? I saw things that my father did, and it was interesting because he wasn't around, but when he did come around, I was so excited to see him. And I often now, as I'm older, I wonder how my mom felt in that situation because she was there every day.
Right.
Wiping your nose, staying home from work when you're sick, trying to make it happen to make sure she provided. But
Yes.
we look at the father or whoever the absent parent is, and we're just happy they're there when they show up, right? And so I think growing up, I was very self-conscious. I didn't, I would say that I was reckless even in terms of the way that I viewed boys, right? And their responsibility to me or their interest in me. I think that I was very much self-conscious. I still have moments now at 40 something. I'm still self-conscious in certain situations because I never negotiated that when I was younger than y'all or your age. And so I think that it has a tremendous impact on your relationships with everybody because you didn't start out with a healthy idea of what a relationship was supposed to be. And I heard somebody mention boundaries. So when we're talking about moving along in life and we're talking about how relationships have shaped us, because relationships are key, that's the name of our episode, and we're thinking of it in a mindful way, you know, what type of boundaries do you see yourself enacting? I heard somebody saying to protect themselves, they have certain boundaries. And so I want you to think about it. What type of boundaries are you all putting into place now if you're noticing certain things about other people in your circles that you don't like? Jalen?
So for me, I am one who, like Sherman, I'm the person who's reaching out all the time. I get on a lot of different people about it because sometimes it bothers me when I get into my vulnerable moments. I think back onto just times where I'm always reaching out to other people, and I feel like sometimes people don't reach out to me. And I feel like I'm always there for others when they're in times of need, and it feels like I only have a select few in my corner. So then that is the boundary that I am currently working on, is just how to better not hold it against people, that because that's not some people's way of doing things. And because it's always been my way of doing things, and people in my immediate family, that's their way of doing things, because I can call people and talk to them about things. But when I look at other people that I want that same thing from, that's not how they are. And it's just the boundary of not taking it like they're against me, but that's just not who they are, and having to accept them for that.
Is it more about managing your expectations?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, you expect people to, we all expect people to act the same way we would in a situation.
Right.
And that's, in a situation like that, I would feel like I would be the first person to outreach and be like, hey, how's everything going? If I haven't talked to you in a minute, oh, how's everything going? But on the flip side, they might just be a super busy person, and that's just not their way of communicating. They're not a, oh, how are you? Let's catch up type of guy.
Gotcha.
Or person. So it's like, that's the boundary that I'm trying to set right now.
Is it that you're trying to learn how to do it, or
Yes.
that's what you're doing?
I'm trying to learn how to do it.
Okay.
Because
I think it's important to distinguish that, because there's some skills that we need to learn, and there's some things that we're currently doing in order to protect ourselves. So that's one that you're trying to put into place so that you're not feeling the hurt that comes with. Is it that you think it's rejection or they're ignoring you?
It's just the fact of maybe I don't care to them as much as they care.
Maybe they don't care about you in the way that you care about them.
Yes.
Okay. Keela, your boundaries?
What are my boundaries?
Yes. Do you have any?
I feel like I'm like kind of opposite as you. I feel like I kind of don't really expect anything from anybody.
Why? Why did you get to the point where you don't expect anything from anybody?
Because I feel like when I've needed someone in the past, they just weren't there for me. So like I know how that felt in that moment. So it's like I don't ever want to put myself back there again. You know what I mean? So it's just like, why even give somebody that power to even do that? So and yeah, like if you
because you've been disappointed,
yeah,
you've decided to pull back.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Melissa, your boundaries.
Okay, I have two specific ones and one that I just thought of based off of what Keela was saying. Being disappointed in the past and then just not expecting that or not expecting anything from anyone else. I think I'm kind of, I don't know if this ties into boundaries, but just something that I've noticed about myself, that I'm almost the opposite. And because I've been disappointed in the past, I don't want to be disappointed again. So I think I expect too much from other people sometimes because I have been disappointed by certain people in the past. And I don't want that to happen again. So while I am trying to tell myself that I don't expect anything because I know it can happen again, I'm overly hopeful that it won't happen again and that I will not be disappointed. I think my
So
specific.
do you have a boundary?
I'm working on that, and
Okay. So we're working on boundaries, and it's okay. I just
Yeah.
want to know if you guys are using things that are working for you that you could have to give somebody else. That's why I'm asking you, do you have boundaries? Because I think that's good what you're saying. You over expect it, but how
Yeah.
do we manage our expectations to stop us from being hurt?
Definitely.
Right?
Yeah, and I think I do know of one specific boundary, and even like my mom was in the chat talking
I
about.
see her. I was gonna say hey to my good sis right there.
She's the one who kind of puts up those boundaries around specifically me, my sister, her, and then like her mom to my grandmother. Those are like, that's the boundary. There are people on the outside who have done things, and so like there are specific people. My boundary is like, if those specific people are going to be at the family function, I'm not going, because I have been talked about, different things have been said about me and done to me, and I know that is my boundary. I will not be there. And like my mom knows that, my grandma knows that, that's my boundary. I will not be in the same room as you. I will not be in the same house as you, in the same space as you, because that is my boundary to protect myself. Because if I'm constantly going into the same environment, expecting something different, that's not good. And that's going to just hurt myself even more.
I love that. And I mean, I'm pretty much the same way. I think even though they tell you to forgive people, right? And you can forgive people and they continue to be the habitual line steppers that they are, I will cut you off. And I'm not going to have a conversation about it. People talk about you because they talk about me because they can't talk to me anymore. That's just what it is. That's my boundary. We will not be talking. If anybody is doing anything negative or saying anything negative, putting crazy narratives out there, they could talk to themselves. They're not going to talk to me. Sherman. Oh, hold on. Adrian, because you're sitting in front of me. Your boundaries, do you have any? Are you working on some? What's going on? And then I'm going to go to Anaya next and then Sherman.
I think one boundary that I've built up from dealing with my family is I don't put too much weight on people's words. So I think that goes along with like managing expectations. But in my family, I feel like I've had a lot of broken promises. So they'll say they'll do something and then you expect for it to happen, doesn't happen. So, and especially like when my dad passed, it was like my uncle saying they're gonna be with me more, or his friends saying they're gonna be with me more, and then not hearing from them for years. It's like, okay.
Oh. So they didn't follow through. And so you just no longer expected it from them, or?
I just don't take what they're saying seriously.
Gotcha. And just so we know, I want to give you the definition of boundary. It's a line that marks the limits of an area. You know what I mean? Just so we're clear. Anaya, do you have any boundaries? Do you need boundaries? What say you?
I don't know if it counts as a boundary, but I know coming to college, having to meet new people, I'm very selective on what I tell people. I'm very observant. So if I notice a certain behavior from someone, I would say in my circle, for example, business being spread, it's like, oh, you talked about that person. I'm not telling you my business. I don't know if that counts, but that's just one way I like protect myself. Okay. I just
limit the amount of information you share. Yeah, I think that's a boundary. Yeah. Sherman, you got a boundary?
I don't think I have a boundary. Kind of because like I feel like Keela, like I don't really have expectations for people. And
then I'm gonna ask you what I asked her. Why don't you have expectations of people? What happened?
Just people just gonna show you who they are, and they don't owe me anything, and I don't expect them to give me anything. So I think, as time goes on, as I got older, I just realized that, I mean, you only there for you. So I don't really have expectations on people.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, as far as
Okay.
boundaries, I
Go
don't
ahead.
feel boundary because I don't really allow people in my circle that I feel like are gonna do me damage.
Mm.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. Like, I feel like it takes a lot for like me to even be vulnerable too.
Mhm.
So like, if I feel like if you've seen that, like, I'm not saying like I do like have an expectation, but like I feel like if you have seen me like that, and if you know how like I am, at least I
Mhm.
feel like at least right now, it's like you're gonna somewhat treat me right, I guess, or like
Mhm.
I let myself be vulnerable, but I don't know if I would let myself do that again.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I really just pick and choose who that is.
Yeah. And I'm thinking about it. So you guys talked about boundaries, and I'm wondering, and I'm very, very curious, what type of characteristics would you have to observe to keep people away from you?
Ooh,
You jumped the gun on that. What you what?
loyalty.
Ooh, okay.
Loyalty is a big one for me because
What does loyalty mean to you?
for example, if we're all in a group and somebody comes up to you and is trying to talk mess about me, your response.
100%.
Because I've been in situations where somebody, this one girl tried to come up to me talking about my friend, and I'm like, you understand that I don't know you, and that is my brother right there, and I'm not. What are you talking about?
Right.
You think I'm supposed to say something bad about him?
Mm-hmm.
Get out of my face.
So loyalty, Keela, what do you look for in somebody? What is one characteristic that you like? Nah, I got to stay away from that person. Okay, dead air. Adrian, think about it, Keela. Huh?
A characteristic that someone shows me that I got to stay away from?
So if you're with somebody and they show you some specific characteristic, you're like, nah, I can't be around that person anymore.
Okay.
Give me the characteristic.
Judgy.
Judgy. What does that mean?
It means every time we go somewhere, it's a complaint. We look at somebody, it's what are they wearing? What are they doing? Like it's always judging something about somebody or anything.
Okay.
I feel like I was gonna say I feel like I can kind of agree with that, or just kind of like switching up, I guess. Like you can't
Switching
just
up.
like you can't just be like, oh, like me and you was talking about this the other day, and like we're talking about him and it's positive, but then yet like you switched up and you twisted words and then you told him opposite.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's like being truthful, I guess.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Truthful.
I think that's
So liars.
Liars.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Anaya, what do you think?
I was gonna say how someone talks about other people, and that goes into judgment. Like you're always saying something negative. Oh, why is so and so doing that? Why are you so concerned
Is
about
that
somebody
gossip?
else?
Is that gossip? Someone who gossips?
Yeah, I say that.
Yeah, you can.
You said unnecessary drama. Is that what you're talking about, Anaya? Unnecessary drama?
I mean, yeah, that could be
Sherman?
it as well.
Sherman?
Oh, my bad.
I'm like, did he say something? What'd you say?
Point, my fault. I was gonna say liars, but Keela said liars.
You agree with me, like
Yeah, I was like liars is just like because we're too old for you to be lying. It's just tell me the truth. Like we just too old for you to be lying. But I'm gonna say, for me, I'm gonna say clout chasers. Like if you be validated from social media, then it's just like I don't know. It just feels like a red flag for me. Like I don't really
I care so much.
Melissa.
Y'all are just taking mine one after another. I was gonna say liars because what are you lying about? Literally, what do you lie? And I hate when it's literally about the smallest thing that you don't even have to lie about. And I'm not saying I get when people lie about bigger things, but like you're lying about the smallest thing ever and it makes no sense. That just irritates me. But I think, and this is, I guess, like a larger one, but narcissistic behavior, when you are just so and
But talk to us about that one. Talk to me about that one. What do you mean?
Being so, I guess, like having such a high sense of your own importance that like you're putting yourself over someone else and their needs, and that's not a relationship. That's just you caring about yourself. A relationship has to be reciprocated. There has to be reciprocated behavior. And if you're a narcissist, why am I with you? Why am I going to even be anywhere near you?
Jalen's ready to raise you an offering.
Go ahead, Jalen.
He's ready to raise you an
with
offering.
Because for me, like, if let's say we're talking about romantic relationships, if I'm interested in a girl and I think she looks beautiful, but if she is acting like she is too good to talk to somebody, that's the biggest red flag to me. Because nobody is bigger than anybody.
Yeah.
Just the fact of you want to be like, oh, excuse me, I don't want to talk to you. Like, what are we doing? Who are you? Oh,
I think I go a step further if that's how they are to, like, say the waiter or the wait staff, just rude.
Yeah.
That won't do it for. I mean, like, what?
That is nasty.
No, that's bad.
But the other portion, like, I'm listening to everything you guys are saying, but one thing nobody said is I don't like bitter people. I don't like bitter, mean, nasty people. I don't like it.
And
so that would be like a red flag. What'd you say, Sherman?
That's like the most obvious one.
Yeah, that's why I think some of us didn't say it because we're not bitter people. Why am I around a bitter person? Like, why am I even having a conversation?
Some of us call them friends, but they happen to be in your family. That's why. And that goes along with jealous and envious too. You can't do nothing with nobody who don't think that that you deserve anything that you've worked for. Like, we can't do nothing with them. So I would say, yeah, jealous and envious. I can't be around that. Selfish people. I can't be around selfish people. And I don't know if that's the same as narcissistic.
It's a character.
But selfish people who only consider themselves, who will say to your face, oh, I'm just trying to get mine. That ain't a person I can be around because I'm a people person. And I will give the shirt off my back. That's why I think I take it so hard when people do things that are totally against my moral code, my self code. Like, I can't deal with people, and I've been known to cut people off. I will not have another conversation. You know, you accept people for who they are, but you place them where they're supposed to be. And I don't know why it took till 44 for me to get that through my head, but loud and clear.
Because you have an expectation that people will change, but I think that's just human nature.
Eventually, huh?
Yeah, you because that falls into the characteristic of what I was saying of, like, I put myself out there because I would expect somebody else to do the same thing, and that's why I'm trying to work on that boundary, because every single time I do still go to these people that I know cannot relate to me in that way, I just think that they will change and realize that, hey, I do need more emotional support from you. But
does that make you less emotional when you don't get it, or do you think that you're becoming somebody else because you don't get it?
I just have to go to different people, like the people that I sometimes that I want to.
And
hear
you're talking
from.
very, very generally, and I know why.
Yes,
but do you think that if you were ever to name it specifically, that you could start to address it?
Yes, but we are in the process of doing that specific thing.
Who is we?
Me, myself, and I.
Okay.
Third person.
Yeah.
I talk like that too.
Yeah. But I mean, it's just it's hard because it's like because that person, the situation you're talking about is also a part of other situations that I see in people that I so-called called friends at different times.
Okay.
Because I'm like, I allow certain people to come to my birthday parties, And for me, if you're at my birthday party, I really consider you like somebody that I see in my life for the foreseeable future.
Mhm.
But for some people to be at my birthday party, but then do some shady stuff to me behind my back, it's like, and you are still the same person who my family, I know your family, and we
Yeah.
still doing that. So that I take that stuff really, really to heart, because like if I know you and I meet your family and I'm really like rocking with you, I put you on a pedestal.
Mhm.
And you knock yourself off that pedestal. I can't knock you off the pedestal because I have so much high importance for friends, because they're the people that I go to. But yeah.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because that was going to be my next question to you all. Do you guys think that you hold your friends, your relationship with your friends in a different position than, say, your family? Do your friends hold more of a significance in your life or more influence in your life than your family?
For me, no, because it depends. It depends on who in my family, because
Mhm.
it goes my mom's side of my family for sure. Like that's who I'm rocking with. I'm rocking with my mom, like my mom and my grandma, and then
The rest of y'all. No.
yeah. But but I really hold them to a high standard, because you're born with family, but you pick your friends.
Okay. How about you, Adrian? Do your friends hold more influence over your life, your decisions than your family does?
I would say yes, because really the only person I have to talk to in my family is my mom. And as far as people like my own age, as far as like my cousins go, we don't really talk like that.
Mhm.
It was a thing where we're close when we were young, and then once we all grew up, we stopped going to the one spot we would all go and just stopped communication.
Mm.
So seeing as my friends who I've known since third grade, and I'm able to still keep in contact with them as we grow up, and like my cousins I've known my whole life, we can go 3-4 years without talking.
Mhm.
So it's like, yeah, as far as people to talk to my own age, I think. What, Jim?
Jaylen's over here being an obstructionist.
What?
I said
y'all was born into it.
Like, but that's more than friendship. That's more family.
Yeah, he was hurt.
I was Lord.
Oh my
He said,
gosh.
huh?
This wasn't about you, Jaylen.
Okay, well, I can talk for me.
Come on, talk.
I think like with my sisters specifically, like I feel like they're like my rock, and I can't switch out. So I don't hold anybody like friends higher to them at all. Could never. They're
Mhm.
literally all my best friends. So
Your sisters?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
sweet.
A little brother now, but he be picking and choosing. So
Shout out Keith, man.
anyways. But yeah.
I
like
heard you was his favorite.
It's my dog.
Anyways, but yeah, no, I don't, and I think maybe like when I was younger, kind of, I feel like I did do that, but as
Mhm.
I'm getting older, I'm appreciating that, because obviously I was born into it, right? Like siblings, but like as I'm getting older, I'm like, no, yeah, those are my rocks.
Your
So,
sisters.
yeah.
Okay. Melissa, do your friends hold more influence in your family?
I was kind of thinking the same thing that Adrian was saying. Like, the only person I really have in my family is my mom, that I'm like, see her every day, talk to her every day. But I don't know if I want to say yes for the friends holding a higher position, because I think it's different and I go to them for different things. The same thing with Adrian. Like, the cousins that I had, or that I still have but don't talk to, we were still far apart in age, even when we were younger. I've always been the oldest. So I didn't really have the cousins my age to go to. They were always younger than me or way older than me. It's the same thing like with my younger sister, who's 3 years younger than me. I have older siblings who are all adults that I don't have a relationship with. So it's kind of always just been me. And me and my mom. And so like if I need to go to people who are my age, I go to my friends. But even with my friends, I've moved schools a whole bunch of different times. I've moved. So I don't necessarily have those people that I've been with since the third grade, or who I've been with forever. So I don't think I hold them to higher standards. I think I hold them to different standards.
Ooh, all right.
Makes sense.
Sherman.
Took the answers right out of my mouth. I was literally gonna say I love them. Like I love them differently. My family is like, I'm gonna take care of them. Whatever they need, I'm gonna take care of them. Whereas my friends, it's like I don't really have to take care of them, and I could just like free be me. So I wouldn't say I hold them to a higher standards, but I do love them differently. I do love them both.
Gotcha. Anaya.
Yeah, I agree with Melissa. I don't think, like, for example, I wouldn't put any of my friends over my immediate family. I just go to different people for different things. Like, I'm not going to ask the older adults in my family things that pertain to my teenage friends.
What does that mean? Expound.
I just go to different people for different advice. Yeah,
So,
if I feel like I'm
advice about what? Life? Relationships? What you going to people your age for advice about people your age?
No, okay. Nothing like
I'm just trying to figure out what we talking about.
You said that? I said, damn.
I said pew.
Okay, no. Nothing like, oh my gosh.
You're gonna have to have an answer.
Okay, nothing specific, but it's like if I feel like going to my friend, I'm gonna go to my friend. If I feel like I don't need an answer from anyone over my family, I'm not gonna feel the need to go to them. Just like if I want good advice from someone who has been on earth for a little bit longer than me, I'm gonna go to my mom. I'm not gonna go to one of my friends and like, hey, life or death situation, what should I do? It's just you go to different people for different things. That's all I'm
just like, get me out my misery, please. Carlos.
Good answer though.
Welcome back. We've been talking about a lot since you fell off.
I know.
But we're talking about, what were we talking about?
What hold your
Influence, right?
Influences, yes. That's what we're talking about.
Oh, that's a good one. At first I was leaning toward friends, but I can honestly say it's kind of like 50-50. And the reason I say that is the friends are the ones that hold me accountable. The friends are the ones that inspire me. The friends are the ones that I've learned to grow and appreciate lately, because a lot of my friends have been individuals that are in the same field. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be coaches, whether it be parents, whether it just be brothers that want to see these youngsters do better. Yeah. So I've aligned myself with individuals that have had like-minded ways of doing things, and their spirit is pure about what they really want. But now at the same time, one of the main reasons that I do it is to inspire my family. And because, I mean, even though I'm not necessarily a first-generation person to go to college, from my demographic particularly, I'm the first person to get out of my situation. Let's just be honest about it. So I try to show the youngsters that it can be done, especially by somebody. If you knew me as I was younger, definitely raising eyebrows. But I do it to inspire as much as I do it to, just continue to gain knowledge and wisdom from the brothers that hold me accountable as well. You see, I call them brothers. I don't call them friends. But
I love that. I love that. And as I'm asking y'all questions, I'm thinking about things myself. I don't know anybody outside of my family who I would particularly go to for all things, except I have one friend that has been with me since my first year of college. And I will talk to her about anything. As far as communicating daily with somebody, I figure people around here have become more like my family because we're with each other all the time. But no one's opinion or influence is more than my mom's. And then if I need some other advice, there's sometimes now, if y'all know me and my sister are like oil and water. But when it comes down to it, we ain't going to fight each other. We're going to fight you. So I will go and me and my sister will pull up somewhere. And so my family has a lot of influence. The people who I see daily have a lot of influence on the decisions I make, because there's a lot of people counting on me, right? And I think that when you put a lot of responsibility on you, you move different. And you don't have time for all these wishy-washy double-minded people who want to take when you always give. And so I think that we're just I'm in a different place now. And it took a lot of those friendships being exposed, those friendships being ripped away, people that I thought were close to me walking away from me. It took a lot of that to get to where I am right now, and to be able to say, we got a lot of things and a lot of things to consider. You guys are in your 20s, some of you in your teens. You have a lot to consider about the type of person you want to be moving forward. And it's always going to come down to how you deal with the most difficult of circumstances. The goal is not to become bitter in dealing with certain type of challenging people. But it happens, right? And so how do you maintain your integrity? How do you continue to be that nice, giving, loving person without becoming this abused person, right? And so I look at that and I think of you guys all the time, and how, you guys have to come into this space and deal with other people and their problems, right? And I wonder if relationally I'm giving you enough to get through, right? But at the same time, I'm like, what are your lives like behind the scenes? And what do you need to be whole, complete people? Those things always come through my mind. And it's interesting. Who said that? Carlos, what you about to say?
I had to say that. No, I'm sorry. I'm just going like this. So, we don't always clap. We just go,
I heard, what you talking about? And you guys got a whole lot of life, to live. And it's going to come down to who you surround yourselves with. Yeah. What type of behaviors you allow to happen around you. What type of people, they say birds of a feather flock together. What type of birds you hanging out with? And do they have your best interests at heart? It's all going to matter as we mature and we go through life, right? And I know we've run out of time today. I'm so sorry. That was really quick. Like, I don't know what happened. But I'm hoping we're doing words hurt next week. That is the third part of our mindfulness series. And I am hoping that Layla will join us because she has some experiences at school where people said things to her. I have some experiences in my personal life that I don't know if I'm as comfortable as I should be to share those with you, but I look forward to sharing them with you next week. And I'm hoping I don't cry, because it's really one of those stinging type of things that people very close to me have said to me. And so I look forward to even having that conversation. If I cry, y'all just keep it moving. You know what I mean? I'll recover. But it's important that not only do we share experiences, that you guys know that life isn't always perfect. People are not perfect. Experiences can make or break you. And so we're going to delve into that next week. Words Hurt, part 3 of our mindfulness series. If you have a teen or a young adult and they're interested in becoming part of an MBSAT cohort, that's a mindfulness-based substance abuse treatment cohort facilitated by our wonderful team here, please visit our website at byop.org and we can get you signed up. Go ahead and cry. It's organic. Okay, Dom.
We're going to cry with you.
Cry with me.
We're going to cry with you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And so we will see you guys. Did I finish my sentence? I don't know if I finished my sentence. Website, go to the website, sign up for a cohort. We look forward to delving in your family relationships with you and really giving you some information about why certain people or why you may choose to indulge in substances. Not that we're saying don't do it, but we want you informed if you choose to do it in the way that in which it would impact you based on the traumas that you may have endured. So we're going to get out of here. We're going to hit y'all with the wave. We're going to try to do it. I see a couple of new people on here. I'm not sure if they know how to wave, or maybe we just hit you with the peace sign. Let's just do it a peace sign. We're going to hit y'all with the peace sign. We're going to see you next week right here on Monday, 4:30 PST. We are Black versus the Board of Education.